I still have a little more to do in Simulanka. A little more. Man, I wish I had tiny fucking the sets for like model painting. I don't wanna shoot this guy. Hey Ethan, have you shot this guy? Have you shot this little fella? Yeah, I don't want to. And I mean, there's no achievements from here, so these guys are just vibing. Okay. One last thing to do. One last thing. Yes, I know it's in fucking Sumeru. Right. I'll go here. I have one more thing I want to check. We'll do it together then. Listen, we'll do it together then. I don't... The fuck? Oh, that's the... Okay. We'll fucking do it together. Oh, I finished JoJo Part 3 today. Wait, it's not even voice acted? The fuck? Tighnari, they just didn't want to pay Tighnari. Okay, wait, what was my Paimon voice? Oh, I remember.
Oh right, didn't Kali say Sumeru City has been pretty lively lately? Aren't you even a little curious?
Yeah, it sounds fun to me.
Right, Paimon agrees. Let's go see what's going on. For our first stop, maybe start with the academia?
I mean, we're here already. We're here already, Paimon.
That's where all the info is after all.
I think we could have had this conversation in Simulanka. Oh, Farazan. Hey, Miku.
Look, that's Farazan over there. Do you think we should ask?
Even just glancing at the borrowing records gives me flashbacks to how awful that book was. How irritating.
Farazan, what are you doing talking to yourself over here?
I am Madam Farazan after all. It's not out of place for me to mull things over out loud, wouldn't you say? But in this case... Never mind, forget about it. Why did two of you suddenly decide to drop by? About that. We heard about something about a party and didn't want to miss out.
Kali told us that Sumeru is the place to be now. Apparently tons of interesting things are happening, so we thought we'd ask around. Any idea what she was talking about?
That's working, yeah. Interesting things. What might Kali find interesting? Tighnari's tail getting so fluffed up like a ball of tumbleweed? Or maybe Sino climbing a tree and getting his hood caught on a branch? Wow, what a simple girl she thinks she is. Seriously, and nobody thought to tell me?
Still, she said there was something big everyone's been talking about. Can you think of anything?
More significant. Ah! Something the matter. Well, now that you mention it, it must be what I think it is. Recently, rumors have been going around about a certain book.
That's a classic horror story opening. It's not some kind of a forbidden tome or anything like that.
Forbidden tome, as far as I'm concerned, it might as well be. Tell me, have you ever read one of those really badly written detective novels? Yeah, I unfortunately did. Tell me exactly how bad it was.
We'll leave this to Paimon. For example, the type where you start off thinking it's a locked room murder mystery, but actually turns out that That was the whole building was just moved.
Oh, right. Or it's supposed to be based on pure reasoning and logical deduction, but at the end it turns out that the culprit was some kind of a superpower.
Exactly, or it starts out super serious, but the second half it just reveals that everyone lost their memory out of the blue.
Or it's set in a mountainous village in the middle of a snowstorm, and the police officer has been portrayed as a serious figure throughout the whole story, suddenly turns out to be the murderer, without the slightest hint of foreshadowing.
You're both being way too specific.
My apologies, I let myself get a bit carried away there for a moment. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I did borrow a book like that a few days past.
Okay, so you borrowed a badly written book, but that happens to the best of us.
No, that's the problem. Blizzard swept mountain villages, superpowers, police officers who turned out to be the criminals. This book had it all and more. Reading it was a tantamount of torture. And despite how complicated it wasn't engaging in the slightest. But there have been all sorts of rumors circulating about this book. Because of strange marks down over all the pages, people are saying that it must be concealing secrets.
Do you think there is treasure involved?
I'm not sure, but there must be many who believe so. Not only have more and more people been borrowing it, but they all been specifically asking for the marked up copy.
Have you borrowed it too?
Yes, I have. As you well know, I am a scholar, so it's only natural to have a bit of curiosity.
Okay.
So, it's a non-voice acted quest about a boring book. I imagine why people would say it's boring. Ow. The fuck was that? Anyway.
So, just what secret does the book at the center of the room actually hold?
I read through carefully. I read through carefully from start. Is this correct? Like, is this grammatically correct? I read through carefully from start to finish. Shouldn't it be I read carefully through? No. I mean, I guess this is grammatically correct. I read through. It just feels like such a weird way to phrase it. Most of the marks are circles, but the beginning and end points of each stroke differ, so does the color of the ink used. Most importantly, all the names of people in the book have been circled. Not only that, many of them are adapted from famous figures in Sumeria's history. Some speculate that these marks must have been left by different scholars over the years, each researching the book's secrets, each searching for a name they believed in. Okay. Others believe they are kind of notions made by different people belonging to the same organization, and that the names circled are their code names. Still, others think that it's some kind of encryption cipher, but even after finishing it, I came no closer to uncovering the mystery. Not only was reading complete waste of time, but sheer absurdity of the shoddy excuse for plot several times over. I was so angry that I returned the book immediately, and when I came to the House of Dane today, I found lots of people sulking around. I suppose they're still looking for that thing.
No wonder you zoned out like that. Paimon's guessing you won't be borrowing any more detective novels anytime soon.
Indeed. Paimon, Brad, surely the two of you must understand how I feel.
Don't worry, madam, I feel your frustration. What's the book called? We'll borrow and take a look ourselves.
It's called Reasoning No Not Time of Day, but suspense always follows a blizzard.
Ugh. Sounds more like a title of a light novel.
Tell me about it. Anyway, read it at your own risk. It's truly unbearably boring. Bro, homemade iced tea, let's go. Can I? No. Let's go, House of Dean. Whee! Where's the book?
Squall and Fury.
There we go.
There are so many books with long titles here. Let Paimon have a look. Working hard and vacationing harder. What the heck?
An Atlas of Rare Rainforest Dwelling Species Professional Edition. The Art of the Construction of Coffee Machines. Who exactly reads these?
Secrets of Elemental Science. That book, Jacket even says expert approved. The former sage Cyrus praised this as an excellent entry-level book. And this one, a compilation and summary of common basic grammar rules for rare languages of ancient desert people. Ugh, now Paimon's dizzy. It's just so many words.
Come on, Paimon, you can learn 20 different...
Is that Layla over there? Let's just ask her. She may know something.
Okay, wait, let me stress her out. Maybe she will know. Maybe the sleeping Layla will know. Brett, Paimon, it's been so long.
I'm still a bit tired. Did you sleep well last night?
I was reading a novel, so I stayed up late.
It wasn't the detective novel that everyone's been talking about, was it?
No, if you're talking about reasoning knows no time of day, but suspense always follows a...
Blizzard.
Oh right, yes, no, it wasn't that one. Madame Farazan said it was really dull, so I didn't borrow it.
So you're not that interested in the book secrets?
I haven't even been able to keep up with my own work, even though I'm up late all the time these days. Way more people have been interested in the book than I ever imagined. 7 or 8 in a single morning. I feel like I'm living in a signboard sitting here like this. Kavis asked me the same question, so he must be looking for it too. He was even hiding behind a ladder before looking for something. He looked really embarrassed. He didn't want Alhaitham to see him, because he would tell him, "Oh my god, Kaveh, are you really following such simple rumors as that, with no notion of reality behind them?"
Searching for something behind. He must be after Mora. So he can hurry up and pay for his debts. Wait, no. Let's just pretend Paimon didn't say anything. Layla, you're really sleepy, right? You must be dreaming this conversation, huh?
I didn't really get it anyway, but if you say so, it's a dream.
Thank you. We'll keep on looking.
Okay, see you next time. It's not often Layla falls asleep so quickly. Good for her.
Paimon thinks we should go ask Kaveh now. If he's searching for the book, he must know something.
But where is he?
Good question, but we can try hanging around where he might show up. There's a good chance he's right there right now.
The bar. The bar. The bar. I'm going to the bar. No? Alhaitham's house. 2 places. Kaveh can be in one of 2 places. At a bar or in Alhaitham's house. There is no in between. Option 3 is maybe the library.
Do you ever think we seem like a pair of thieves, hiding here to ambush Kaveh? It almost looks like we're here to extort him or something. Paimon's not sure why that is though, we just want to ask him a couple of questions, that's all.
Don't make it sound like we're the baddies. When have you ever been bothered by your conscience?
That sounds like footsteps, quick, let's look. Stop right there, Alhaitham? What are you doing here?
Good question. Surprising indeed. I was under the impression that you knew I lived here. I mean, yeah, that's his house, dude. Good morning. What can I do for you?
Nothing, never mind. Oh, goodbye then.
Oh, goodbye then.
You just left. Does he have work to do or something?
Footsteps again? They're heading towards the door. Stop right there, Cave! What are you two doing here?
Good question. Surprising indeed. Paimon was under the impression that you know that only reason we be here was if we were looking for you.
Paimon, you don't sound like yourself. Yeah, it's fucking imitating Alhaitham. Like, I love the I love the idea that these two leave the house separately, as if they were just hooking up. Looking for a certain book by any chance? Wait, what?
Here is a deal.
You and Paimon pull Cave to one side and how is it that you guys know everything? And there I was, thinking I'd be super discreet the whole time. No one should even have noticed.
Come on, get real. You really think that no one knows you live here?
Hey, that's not fair. Of course nobody knows, except for Sino, Tighnari, Collei, and the two of you, right? Nobody knows except all my friends. Friends are friends, so they know. Well, they know. So if they know, well, they know. But if a stranger overheard us, it would be a disaster. It might even impact my career. Anyway, about that book.
You believe it contains something about hidden treasure, don't ya? Looking to get rich quick, are we?
Yeah. Are you offering to help with it?
Shucks, why didn't you say so earlier? So there really is treasure. How about this? We'll help you find it and split the loot 50-50. It's a deal. Brett, after all we've been through, it's finally our turn to get rich. No need to keep yapping hidden treasures. The Paimon problem harming is on ya.
Huh? Hey, Paimon! She took half my money. The money I don't have.
Is that Dia?
Everyone's showing up. What the fuck? They're just reminding us these characters exist. I'm not Brendan. I'm not Brendan. I'm not Brendan. What's with the QA here? Must be my lucky day running into you like this.
Yeah, you mercenaries are pretty tuned into the grapevine. Have you ever heard of a book called Reasoning No Not Time of Day but Suspense Always Follows a Blizzard?
Wait, you guys are looking for it too?
By two, you don't mean you're looking for it too? Darn, it does. So does that mean we're finally gonna have to square off against Dea?
Wait a minute, would you mind telling me exactly why you're looking for it? Once more you go over the rumors. If it really does turn out to be something important, I'll be sure to let you know if I hear anything.
Whoa, really? From your reaction before, Paimon thought you were after it too.
Don't worry, a client had asked me to get her the book, but her attitude seemed off somehow, so I didn't take the commission. She's a smart cookie though, and it was like she was hiding something. So I thought she must have had an ulterior motive. Besides, I had other things to look into right now. Compared to some commission, it's more important that you uncover the truth behind the book. Anyway, no time to lose. I've gotta get going.
Alright then, good luck, and don't forget to tell us if you hear anything.
Okay, the fan mixed the air here enough. I wonder who Dia's client could be. Freaking Dory. How are you? So fast.
Flying's faster than running.
Sorry, it's a traveler thing. Alright, listen to me. It's like this. Paimon, don't get your hopes up. The book, it isn't some kind of a treasure map. It's just an unbelievably unremarkable, surprisingly ordinary detective novel.
But didn't you just say there was a treasure? Most people backtrack like that. Paimon just thinks that they change their minds and want to keep all the more for themselves. But it's not something you'd do.
No, that's... I'm sorry. I just couldn't bring myself to tell you earlier. So I played along with what you were saying. Here's what happened. I borrowed the book a month ago. When I opened it for the first page, I discovered one of the names was printed incorrectly. That night I've been drinking, just a little, and I was starting to feel drowsy, so I picked up a pen and circled the name. As I'm sure you know, the House of Dean allows borrowers to unnote the book they take out. I'm in the habit of doing that too, so at the time I didn't give it a second thought. But after I was dozen or so pages in, I realized that the names of all the characters in the book had intentionally been written slightly wrong. Maybe it would be more accurate to say that the novel itself was quite strange. All the characters' names were based on real historical figures, but rather than using the original names, they had been tweaked ever so slightly. Most people would assume that the author had made a mistake or that there'd be a printing error when they saw spelling mistakes like that. I didn't find the content particularly appealing, so I returned it before I finished reading it. But later on, I heard that the book had suddenly become the talk of the town, and that there was a rumor about a mysterious treasure or something. And you thought it had something to do with you.
It certainly does sound like it.
Yeah, and I also heard that now all the names in the book have been circled, not just one. I just haven't been able to figure out what in the world must have happened after I returned it. Let me think, Tighnari? Last time we met, I also told him all about how poorly parts of the book were written. He said it made it sound pretty funny. So much so, in fact, that he suddenly wanted to take a look himself.
In that case, let's go find Tighnari.
That's fine with me, but I still have some work to finish up, and it's pretty urgent. How about I head back first and we can meet up again later once I'm done?
No problem. Hope your work goes well.
Me too. Thanks. See you later then. Okay, interesting. Now it's getting interesting. So who changed and why the extra shit? Was it Al-Haytham? Was Al-Haytham just being a dick? Is that why we saw him? Swing, motherfucker, swing. Tighnari!
Over here! Hey, Tighnari!
I heard you. How's it going, Bread and Paimon? You guys sure look excited. Tell Tighnari how you're looking for the novel. As you do so, you reflect once more about how absurdly long the title is and how even just saying it aloud makes you feel tired. Ah, that one. Yes, I did go to the House of Dean to borrow it. Kava said it wasn't worth reading, but I was curious, so I went and read it anyway. The problem was there was already 2 names circled in the book I borrowed, and the style each circles was different. It was like some kind of a game. Someone had drawn a red circle around the name of the first character that appeared. Then someone else had drawn a green circle around another.
So, in the time between Kava returning the book and you taking it back again, someone else had already annotated it? Annotated it?
That's right.
Paimon's sure that the first circle was drawn by Kave.
Yeah, no surprise there. If you stop and think about it, but for a second, guessing the identity of the second annotator should be trivial.
You mean it was?
If there were 2 people living in a house and one of them drew the first circle, then it's highly likely that the other person left a mark too. Sometimes those 2 really are too much. In the end, it is as I suspected from the beginning. The first character whose name had been circled on the very first page turned out to be the murderer. Surely that's just a blatant spoiler. Like that joke where someone opens a novel and bam, there is a note in the margin that spoils everything right from the start.
What kind of joke would be so cruel?
That was one of Cyrus's. And it wasn't just a joke. He said he actually pulled a stunt like that when he was younger.
He was unlucky enough to borrow the book after he'd scribbled all over it.
My master, Nafe, is the professor of Zahahadi, who had a seminar with him that very afternoon. Cyrus said that master once threatened to give him a good beating by the side entrance of the House of Dane. It was only thanks to my mother and Professor Zahahadi intervening that it didn't happen.
Paimon doesn't sympathize with Cyrus at all. Not one bit.
The House of Dean has never stopped people from annotating books, but this seems like a special case. I didn't think the book could be allowed to keep circulating like that. So I circled several names myself, laying a false trail.
Uh,
The best place to hide a leaf is in the forest. It's a simple principle.
well, when you put it like that, but still.
How many names did you circle, Tanari? Let me think. Not too many. About 3 or 4. I chose them all randomly.
Then who circled all the other names in the book?
There must have been others who borrowed it and did something similar. I'm just not sure why.
Who'd have fun borrowing books could be so complicated.
So that's it. Treasure seeker. Okay. Jesus, this is being long.
Look, there's Dea. Let's tell her about the real story. Candace is there too.
So I need to reflect a little on what I did.
What happened?
To meet you here today is surely due to the guidance of the gods. Greetings.
Candace, is this a personal trip?
Today's trip to the city is to buy provisions for the people of Outer Village, as well as help Miss Atari deliver a message to the sage of the Academia while I'm here. On the way, I happened to see Dea sitting in the cafe looking down, so I came over to chat with her. Don't worry, it's nothing serious. It's just that I suddenly remembered a few details about the book after talking with you. Before the client had even contacted me, I've heard rumors of an ancient novel full of undiscovered secrets. Out of curiosity, I asked Sino to take it out for me. As a desert dweller and a mercenary to boot, the idea of solving a mysterious treasure map is pretty exciting.
Paimon totally gets that.
We inherited our customs of searching for the gold and wisdom in the sands from the gods themselves. But that book turned out to be dry as dust. A bunch of names had been circled, but it still couldn't figure out what that puzzle was supposed to be, despite reading the whole thing throughout carefully from start to finish. In the end, I started to think it was some kind of a ritual or a game or something, so I picked up a pen and drew a circle of my own. Fuck off! But later on, Miss Dunyasard asked her parents to find a way to borrow it for her. She said the mysterious markings fascinated her, even though she couldn't get into the book itself. If they were just regular annotations, it wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary, but these strange circles, I can't help but want to try and figure out what they might mean. That's so true, Dea. But you're reflecting on having accidentally interfered with other people's reading experience, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Wait, hold on a second. Why did you tell Candace?
She's a warrior, you know? Sometimes she has to interrogate criminals and other things like that too. Everyone recognizes that her job is sacred, so when we need to think of what has gone wrong, we'll talk to her about it. Please don't be too surprised, my dear Brad. To me, listening to other people's mistakes is another way of protecting them. By speaking of your own mistakes and hearing sincere advice in return, improvement will come over time. That's the way we do things.
But all she did was draw a circle. It's not like she was deliberately trying to mess with anyone. Besides, everyone agrees that the book itself is just bad.
That's true. I was just telling Candace how bizarre it is. By the way, but be that as it may, it doesn't change the fact that it just ain't right to mess with someone else's enjoyment of a book. That's the bottom line. Anyway, Dea, please have faith that the gods will forgive your transgression. Besides, you told me about the part of the story where one of the suspects in the case ended up crawling out of the village on his hands and knees and he was named Al-Ahmal. That's right, the detective in the book argued that he must have leapt across the broken bridge like a frog. Of course, you find out later on his conjecture was totally off base. Because it turns out Al-Ahmal has superpower, so he could float right across the broken bridge.
What the heck is that book even about? It sounds completely ludicrous.
Al-Ahmal. It's simply to reminisce on the good name of King Desherad, don't you think? Though considering how transgressive the book sounds, I don't think it's worth overthinking it. You're right. You know, I can't help but wonder what our friends at the Temple of Silence would say if they somehow got their hands on this book. I'm sure those sages would be able to unpack interesting ideas from the text we ordinary people could care to dream of.
It's normal for there to be bridges outside blizzard-swept mountain villages, and normal for them to get broken. For a person to cross one by floating through the air? Why resort to such lame plot device? Paimon started to get where Farazan was coming from. If you'd get all excited about reading detective novel but end up reading tripe like that instead, ugh, better not even think about it.
So where the book now? Not sure. I returned after I was done reading it back then. There weren't as many markings inside as the rumor says they are.
Alright, then Detective Paimon's still the case.
Paimon, listen. What the fuck? Why here? Why would this teleport me here of all places? But we figured the mystery out. Kaveh circled it once or twice. Al-Haydam circled it a few times too in another color. And Tainari just messed around with it. Then other people just like, you know, went around and did more. Yeah. Has it been returned yet? Yeah.
It's alright through us.
Many others have asked for it too. I apologize, it seems it hasn't returned yet. She got a point. Hey, you two look as confused as a couple of Aranara who just ran into each other head first. Are you looking for something? I can help.
Nahida! Have you heard of a book called
Such a long name. But yes, I know the one you mean. I heard that everyone was looking for it and it sounded fascinating, so I found a brand new copy to read myself.
A brand new? Do you mean it wasn't a copy of all the markings on it?
Yes, that's right. I was more interested in the contents of the book itself than all those rumors about hidden treasure, so an unmarked copy was all I needed. Speaking of which, it's funny. There is more than one copy of this book, but everyone's looking for the one where all the names have been circled. Are they all afraid of spoilers, or do they actually crave them?
Then do you know who has the copy?
I just so happen to have seen it in the hands of one of your friends. If you're looking for the copy, that sparked all the rumors. You should look around near the palace of Alcazar. Every character is showing up. Every character. Like, everyone. We're going for all the Sumeru characters. We had Kole tell us about this shit happening. Faruzan to give us more details. We run into Layla. Layla pointed us towards Kaveh. Waiting for Kaveh showed us Al-Haydam. We met with Kaveh. We run into Dia. We went to speak with Tainari. We now met with Tainari. We later found Dea with Candice. Now we met Nahida. Now we're going to Adazazazaza Palace to meet, and we're gonna find Dori there. Nilu's still in Similanka. Wanderer's still in Similanka. So we're just gonna run into Sino. We haven't met Setos. We haven't run into Setos. But I see why this is not voice acted. Much less money to pay to people. Yeah, Dory. Setos, and Sino. I'm guessing this is the end?
Is there Dory, Sino, and Setos?
Darn you, General Mahamatra, entrapment isn't gonna work. You can't do that. Hey, what do you mean by entrapment? Yeah, I know. You're the one who said you had the book. I said I wanted to read it, but then you agreed to meet me here. Sino showing up too was just coincidence, pure coincidence. You don't play games with me. I know who you are. You're the new kid, Setos, right? I know you're friends of Sino. So you do know who I am. I saw how Sino was chasing you around trying to get you to play cards and how you found an excuse to run after a couple of rounds right after. That left quite an impression. You didn't have to mention that. No, I think Dory's right about that. You always look for a way out when it comes to playing Invocation. It's becoming quite a problem. Bread and Paimon, you've been standing there for quite a while. Oh, if it isn't, my dear Bread and Paimon, what brings the two of you to the palace of Alcazar? Might it be that you have come to do business with me, the Lord San Mamiya Bay? Of course, please give me a moment to conclude our business here, and I'll be with you straight away. Anyway, General Mahamatra, as I am sure you are well aware, the means by which I had someone borrow this book from the House of Dean were both completely legal and perfectly reasonable. Seeing as it isn't yet time to return it, you have no right to forcibly seize a book I borrowed. That would only be the case had you not engaged in any irregular activities. Yet just now a buyer, Setos, came to the palace of Alcazar on the basis of a mysterious message to meet a seller, hoping in vain to purchase a detective novel. What do you mean buyer? He's one of your people. You sent him here to deliberately try to bite and entrap me. That is not something I can acknowledge. What I can tell you is that I've had my eyes on this book for some time. Remember, it is forbidden to transfer or sell books from the House of Dane without explicit approval from the relevant authorities. I'm not selling anything. Just to be clear, I'm just making the most of an opportunity. If someone pays me a little something on the side, I lend them this mysterious little novel to browse for a bit. If you don't believe me, just ask any of my curious readers. Yes, that's right, your readers. Anyway, I was just showing him the book. Is that so? And here I was thinking you were really going to go through with the illegal transaction like this, Setos. Wait, what? You two read Aaron together? I was just really curious about this book. I finally managed to track it down, but Sino, it's true that Dory never actually said she wanted to sell the book. So she isn't the mastermind who started all this. Mastermind? So by your own account, it looks like you might jump the gun a bit, General Mahamatra. I'm not handing the book over. You may think you've played an ace, Dory, but when you opened the book just now, I saw the truth revealed before me. The book's return date is today.
That Sino sure's got sharp eyes.
That's right. I do have good vision. You have less than half an hour before the book is overdue. Give it to me and I'll return it. How could I just hand it over to you like that? This is a mysterious, super awesome, mega amazing paragon of illogical detective novels that is practically a treasure. I'm gonna make a fortune off of it. Should that be admitted that out loud? I didn't say I was going to sell it. It's not like I was being serious. Then how about it, Dory? Dory, Sino, why don't you two play a little game with the book as stakes? That's one way of solving it. How about it, Dory? Do you dare accept the challenge? If you win, I'll throw a blind eye to the book for the time being, and if you lose, you have to hand it over. Oh, it sounds interesting. Very well, I'm in. What's the contest? My memory's not bad. Yes. And you have both read the contents of this book, correct? That's right. So you have actually read it? Oh, well, needless to say, so have I. In that case, I'll just open the book and flip for a few pages and you tell me how many names have been circled. Best out of 3 wins. That's nuts! What's chicken to know? No, it's game on. Let's go. In that case, the first page. 6. 6. Both correct. Next, the second page. I think it was 4. I'd say 4. Both of you are right again. 2 draws, so it's all hung up on the next question. Oh, page 61. What? I don't quite remember. 7? I know the answer. It's 5. Absolutely correct. The answer is 5. Sino, is your memory really that good? I'm not buying it.
How did you know?
It's not actually because I have a good memory, but because the circling of the names left a deep impression on me. After about it, I noticed the name of the first few pages had been selectively circled by different people. Each person's penmanship was different, and moreover, I recognized 3 of the circles as having been drawn by Tainari. Oh my fucking god, he recognized Tainari's handwriting for a circle on a name? Few others use the same color of ink as he does, so it was instantly recognizable.
You even know that?
Yes, I learned of that habit of his long ago. At the time, I had just been promoted General Mahamatra, and would go to a secret base when I wanted to get through all the trivial tasks in my intro at once with minimal disturbance. I would often find Tenari hidden away on a tree there, doing his homework. Noticing the writing implements he favored wasn't exactly detective work. In all these years, he has never once changed the ink he uses. Back to that book. Anyone who's read it knows that the first name circled is the real murderer. Perhaps Tenari did not want the plot to be spoiled for anyone else, so he circled other names. Annoting or marking a book is not itself a violation of book borrowing regulations, but why are all the other marks there? Is there some conspiracy behind them? What do they have to do with Tainari? I want to get to the bottom of this, even if it's just for the sake of my friend, and to uncover the secret. He must become a part of this conspiracy. So I circled all the other names that were left in the book. What? To think you did such a thing. So there's no treasure at all. It was just you guys all along? That's right. Should you wish to hide a grain of sand buried in the desert? And in that grain of sand, I can't catch a glimpse of the truth. As you were drawn to it. Making your plans, yet in a twist of fate, were discovered by me. No matter how vast this world is, you cannot run from the long arm of the law. You're making a meal out of this, aren't you? You really have way too much time on your hands. Okay, I give up, you win. That's enough for today. It is time for Lord Sanganamiya Bay to return to her room for some repast. Farewell. So, do you intend to take this book back to Temple of Silence? I've heard there was treasure hidden inside, and thought it might have something to do with the temple. I never thought it was the real story behind it. But when you agreed to compete, I had already surmised you were familiar with this book. That's why I chose the practical format. Brilliant move, bro. What's with that look?
We're just thinking that there have been more twists and turns in the story behind the book than in the actual story itself.
Well, as long as you got it back, I'll leave uncovering the rest of the secrets to you. And take my leave for now. See you later, everyone. Can I borrow the book? Of course. After Sino hands you the book, you and Paimon quickly thumb through it. Though you weren't reading very carefully, you can tell that something's not quite right. The plot is widely imaginative, and just as everyone says, though most of the names in the book seem familiar, on a closer inspection you realize that they aren't actually the names of the historical figures. Not only that, but every name has been circled. Thinking back on the course of events, you fall silent, and then you explain the full story. How unexpected. But still, it does make sense. And if it is far better than the existence of an actual conspiracy. In that case, I still have other plans. Last time I was at Caravana Ribat, I promised I'd meet Dia and Candice for drinks. Brad, could I trouble you to return the book for me? Thanks, friend. Aww. It wasn't the most exciting story in the world. But one can't deny that there was a detective story behind it. Oh, Cave.
Well, we're finally back. Now let's return this book.
You already found the book? Amazing. I've been waiting for you here for it to be returned so I could see it as soon as possible. Seriously? How is that even possible? I circled the actual murderer?
Paimon was pretty surprised by this whole thing too.
Let's just take the book to the problem first. Care of the book problem first. Hello, this book, it's probably all my fault for using permanent ink to mark a page, since that caused a whole mess of other things that happened. Now it's all marked up like this, and there's even a risk of those marks spoiling the story, so I'd like to buy it. The whole issue should be avoidable if the Academia uses the money to buy a new copy. Would you please consider my proposal? Your idea has merit, and is indeed a good way to resolve this situation. I'll confirm the book's price now, and then you can buy over. That's great. Thank you so much. The staff members carefully wrap up the thoroughly marked up book. What a blunder. Regardless, thank you so much all for your help.
It was nothing, we were just kind of along for this ride. Still, Kaveh, it'd be better if you used something more erasable to make notes in the future.
I understand. I'll never let myself subconsciously correct the typesetting errors ever again. Huh. No, I mean, I'll never again borrow a book with such a long name, at least for a while. My boy's not gonna be reading any light novels anytime soon, huh? So was that it? Ah, Haytham, you're here. I was looking everywhere for you. What is it? Guess what I've got in a little bag here? If I had to guess, a young man's tears of regret. And what would you know? It's reasoning, no, not time of day, but suspense always follows a blizzard. You actually bother memorizing a ridiculous and boring name like that? That's just because when I was filling out paperwork to buy it back at the Academia office, I had to write it out over and over. Then it looks like this book has a new owner. Only because I subconsciously marked up the book with ink. Did you know that Tighnari Dea assigned all circuit names in the book? And it all started because the name I circled was the real killer? Ah, to be perfectly honest, the moment I first saw the murderer's name circled, I knew this would happen. Wait a second. How come you've read the book too? I have had the pleasure of reading at the House of Dane. The logic is a mess, it's just poorly written. And you left the book out in the study. You knew I circled the killer? Then did you circle any names in the book? What do you think? So you did? The second one is mine. Why? The best way to avoid spoilers is to add a red herring. Then why just one? Tighnari circled 3! I already significantly reduced the problem of the murderer identity being spoiled for the next reader. That's more than enough. No need to worry about things that are beyond saving. Then just why isn't it necessary? Using permanent ink to circle a name on the first page, that's obviously beyond saving. What kind of logic is that? I bet you just drew your circle for fun. If I must say so, then it's because the circling of the name is far more interesting than the book itself. Fair point. In the end, I only have myself to blame for using up all my pencils. I need to go buy some more. Congratulations. This one-of-a-kind, out-of-print book, personally penned by the hand of so many, is now yours. Do you think I look happy about it? I don't even want it.
If it was Paimon, she wouldn't want it either.
That's a no for me too. To be fair, I'd want it. To be completely honest with you, I'd want it. I like that kind of stuff. I would probably have 2 copies, one unmarked and one marked. I do have some stupid misprints of manga. They're worth nothing. But I do have them.
Add Astra.
X. I'm gonna cry. You're gonna make me cry. A week. Okay. Time for Simulanka. Let's go help the frogs. And then we'll go help the squirrels. That's very pretty though. First referee. Okay. Oh, no. Well done, my fine hind-legged ladies and gentlemen. Well done indeed. This jumping contest is on fire. And just a moment ago, we saw Estamped the Fearless show his awesome might. With his impressive epic strength, he made a stable yet distant leap, one worthy of favoring to take gold. But next up, we have the one you've all been waiting for, the unequaled, the unrivaled, the unparalleled Robert. Well, who will emerge as a champion and win the great honor and burden of fetching the princess? Before the final round begins, let us take a short break and give our two contestants time to rest. For the time being, the competition venue will be open to you all, so go forth and jump to your heart's content. That is what the Rain Song Pond is here for, after all. Right. How is there a thing I don't have? King paper frog. Calm paper frog. Oh. Hello, calm paper frog. Welcome, dear guests. I presume you're also here to watch the competition. Welcome, in any case, to Rain Song Pond. You have come at the right time, but also perhaps the wrong one. The competition is coming to a close with only the final, the result of which, already beyond doubt, left at the place. I'm sure you have heard of Fuarberto and Estamped. They are both leading exponents in the art of jumping, but in my expertise, Fuarbert is sure to win. Fuarobert is far better at this than all other paper frogs, and he has won countless championships as a result. He is therefore the undisputed favorite. He has the strongest legs, the most agile mind, and the most resolute spirit. Most importantly, he constantly seeks to share his know-how with all other frogs. Estampe is like me, one of the paper frogs who learn by watching him. We respect, trust, and believe that he will once again achieve great success. Is this fucking working though? Sorry. Just even though air conditioning is working, my ass got sweaty. If you do not mind, we could practice if you do not mind, we could practice together. Perhaps you might even come up with some good ideas to help me jump all the better. Of course, it's not just about rescuing the princess. Most important is the contest itself and what it teaches us. Self-belief, resolve, bravery. Only a paper frog who understands and embodies such virtues will emerge as our champion. Okay. Come then, dear guests. Let's see if you can feel the virtue inherent in our contest. What a terrible collision. Come on, chin up, buddy. Lower. I don't understand. Okay. I don't get it. Not bad, you're quite good at this. If you have time, I'll be willing to recommend you the organization committee. Next time we hold this competition, we'll be able to measure ourselves against one another. Still, I shan't take up more of your time until then. The final is about to begin. Guess we'll have to see just how good this Forberto guy.
Guess we'll just have to see how good this Roberto guy is.
He'll blow your socks off for sure. Still, he did seem a bit nervous when I saw him recently. He was constantly practicing the most basic moves and then getting annoyed at how he was performing them. But these are finals.
But these are finals, don't want to get nervous.
Yeah, a bit of nerves are to be expected. That's what I thought, but... No, I still believe in him. He's not the type to give in so easily. I've got to keep practicing myself. If you'd like, dear guests, please feel free to have a look around. The finals are about to begin, though, so be sure you don't miss them. There is the excited frog. Weep, weep, weep. Excited paper frog. Greetings, honored guest. You don't seem like frogs. Nonetheless, welcome to Rainsong Pond. May your legs be limber. As you have seen and heard, this contest is to decide the frog who's best at jumping. Our contests go through the qualifiers, group matches, and elimination matches, and only those who make it through all these can reach the finals.
Oh, sounds kind of complicated.
It's not complicated at all. Simply step into the arena and clear the challenges that lie before you. Dear guests, if it suits your fancy, you can also try out the bouncing contest here. This is meant to test the contestant's speed and stability when jumping. I was just about to do some practice here, then take part in the next contest. But my skills aren't exactly up to par. I just can't jump well enough on my own. Would you be willing to assist me? Of course, the competition's already reached the finals, so the other venues are now open to practice. Keep practicing, keep competing. That's the way you get better and better. Come on, dear guests, you'll enjoy the bouncing contest too. I guarantee it. Noise. This game is pretty fun, don't you think?
This game's pretty fun, don't you think? Paimon wants to give it a try too. Paimon can pose as if she's jumping in the air too, you know? It's pretty much the same anyway.
I knew you'd enjoy the bouncing contest, but just now, this was just a game. This is long... a long way off from a real contest. Only the very best of us can take part in the latter. And this contest will decide who is the best suited to rescue the princess. Ah, it's just so exciting! Oh dear. Oh, sorry, dear guest. My apologies. I just can't help but ramble on about Fuerberto. Roberto. After all, the whole reason we organized so many contests was to choose the paper frog with the steadiest, furthest, most awe-inspiring jump so that they could go rescue the princess. There is still some time before the final match begins, so feel free to take a look around. Horlo will use his booming voice to remind us when the competition is about to begin, so listen out for it and make sure you find good seats.
And here it is, here it comes. My fine hind-legged ladies and gentlemen, the umpire Robert steps forward to make his leap, and he jumped 3 lotus leaves and fell into the water. It seems we have a champion. The one who will welcome our princesses, Estampie. Congratulations to our...
No, Mr. Holler, I protest. This is ridiculous, absurd even. I shall not accept the title in this manner.
Goodness gracious, by the morning dew. Come now, you surpassed Fauberto in front of all frog kin.
Fauberto slipped up, that's all. He's just not in a good form, you know.
That will not convince me, nor any other paper frog. Anyway, let's give Robert a moment to himself. We'll continue this later. It seems we have guests. Welcome to Rain Song Pond. What can I help you with?
What's this competition about?
As you can see, it's a jumping contest. Only the most legendary leaper may take the crown, thus earning the great burden of rescuing the princess. This is why we organize so many contests. I imagine that you saw the frog who just made his leap. That was Robert, one of our contestants, and the greatest jumper on the pond, or he used to be anyway. Sounds pretty cool. Shame we seem to have missed it all. Really? Pamo's never seen you jump that far before, except when you were running away from a monster.
It's a taking part that counts. You never know. You might get a prize for participating.
Hey, why is the reward always the first thing on your mind?
It's on yours too.
In that case, you do well to ask our champion over here for some advice.
My apologies, dear guests, and Mr. Horlu too, but I said it before and I'll say it again. I'm no champion.
But as surely as the lotus stem stands, according to the rules, you are the champion.
I'll be judge of that. Thank you very much. This contest is meant to pick the best of us, the most skilled of jumpers, to go save our princess. This is a matter of the honor of all frog kind. And Forbert is the best of us. You know this. All of us do.
Oh, we've heard a lot of other paper frogs talking about him. Is everything they say about him true?
That's right. Forbert was the best frog in our pond. He could easily bounce all the way across 12 lotus leaves and land on the 13th. And he'd land so lightly that the dew upon the leaf would not be disturbed. He could even jump between lotus leaves amidst a flowing river and not fall into the water, no matter how fierce the current.
Yeah, he seemed kinda down. He looked super sad when he was leaving just now.
He's just having a temporary rough patch. That's the only reason he made that mistake. Please, Mr. Horolu, for the sake of the contest and the sake of our calling, I'd like to ask for a rematch. If you deem it necessary, you can consult the opinion of all other frogs. I am sure they'll concur.
Listen, SMP, I know you're a capital fella, sharp-minded and outstanding to boot. But did you not see how Farbetter was faring? He left without even attempting to make another leap.
I'll speak with him. We've trained together all this time, so I know how he feels. He'll understand.
For the love of lotus leaves and look and dew. Alright, I'll go with you to meet Forbert. We'll come along too. We're really good at encouraging people, and we're
Great jumpers too.
Have you been secretly training behind Paimo's back or something?
I'm just gonna make another jump. A long way.
Haha, both humorous and polite. Thank you for your goodwill. In that case, let us go together. For any luck, that good humor of yours might soothe his sore spirit. Pond protect us. I wonder which shall serve us better, the soft or hard approach.
Damn, boy went high. He went high. I'll go low. I'm not gonna lie. These two quests are kind of fucking boring. So I'd rather play some Yakuza right now.